Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. So in Gaur Parshadavali, on page number 217, we have brief biography of our Param Guru Dev, written by our Guru Maharaj. So I am reading that from Sri Chaitanya, his life and associate. Srila Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Obeisance to Srila Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj, the representative of Lord Vishnu and one who is dear to the followers of Rupa Goswami. Obeisances to you, Lord and Guru, who are the personification of the quality of forgiveness, who, as Guru, are the manifestation of Krishna, meant to deliver the most fallen. Krishna Bhinna Prakash, Shri Murte Deen Tarine, Kshama Gunavataray, Guruve Prabhave Nama. Personification of the quality of forgiveness. Kshama Gunavataray. Satirtha Priti Sadharma Guru Priti Pradarshine Isho Dhyana Prabhavasya Prakashakaye Te Nama. Obeisances to you, whose religious principle is to act on your affection for your Guru and your God brothers, for which you revealed the spiritual power of the Lord's garden, Ishodhyan in Mayapur. Shri Khetre Prabhupadasya Sthanodharasya Sukirte Saraswata Ghanananda Samvardhanaye Te Namah. Obeisances to you, who increase the joy of those devoted to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur by recovering his birthplace in Puri. By recovering his birthplace in Puri, for which you are justly renowned. Shri Bhakti Daita Namacharya Barjam Jagad Gurum Vande Shri Madhavam Deva Goswami Paravaram Prabhum. I worship my Lord Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, teacher of the holy name and spiritual master to the universe, Jagat Guru. Appearance of Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj. 10th in the preceptorial line from Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Paramahansa Paribhradikacharya, Om 108, Shri Shri Mad Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Vishnupad, one of the dearest associates of Prabhupada, Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, the founder of the Chaitanya Math and Gaudiya Maths throughout the world, was himself the founder of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math throughout India and my own spiritual master. He appeared in this world on Friday, November 18th, 1904 at 8 a.m. on Udhan Ekadashi in Kanchanapara in Madaripur subdivision of Faridpur district in East Bengal, presently Bangladesh. Udhan Ekadashi is the tithi that marks the end of the Chaturmasya period, when Vishnu wakes up from his 4 month long sleep. It is thus a day that brings joy and auspiciousness to the world. Similarly, the appearance on that Tithi of the most compassionate, dear associate of Lord Hari, our most worshipable Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, had the effect of bringing joy and good fortune to the world's conditioned souls who are suffering from the threefold miseries. It is also significant that our Parmeshti Guru, the incarnation of extreme renunciation, Paramhans Vaishnav, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, entered the eternal pastime on the same Tithi. Gurudev's birthplace and family. Kanchanpara is in a pure and beautiful area on the banks of Padma River, near its mouth in the precinct of Bhedraganj. The Padma River is sometimes called Kirtinasha River, the river that destroys all glories, because its annual flooding washes away so many villages and towns. Further upstream, however, there is a place called Prematali. Prematali, where Nityanand Prabhu deposited divine love of God for Narottam Das Thakur. It is the same Padma River. The village was prosperous and home to a large number of Brahmins. It was also the residence of my Gurudev's maternal uncles, who were of a prominent wealthy family in the area. Though they were talukdars or subsidiary landholders, they were given respect equal to that of zamindar. The British rulers of the day decorated them with the title Raja Chakravarti. Thus, although the family name was Bandhyopadhyaya, their home came to be known as Chakravarti Bari. The village is known to Madhav Maharaj's disciples as Gurudev's Matulalya. The following is known about Srila Gurudev's paternal family. His grandfather's name was Chandra Prasad Dev Sharma Bandyopadhyay. His father Nishikant Dev Sharma Bandyopadhyay. They lived in the village of Bharakar in the precincts of Tangibari in the Bikrampur subdivision of Dhaka district. Both Srila Gurudev's father and grandfather were well known in the district as pious men. Srila Gurudev's mother, Shaivalini Devi, was an extremely devoted woman who dedicated herself to the service of God. To the service of God, the Brahmins and holy men. Srila Gurudeva lost his father at the age of 4, after which his mother took him and returned to her brother's home, which is where he was raised. His uncle's great affection for him played an important part in his upbringing. The name given to him by his father was Shri Heramba Kumar Bandyopadhyay. Heramba Kumar Bandyopadhyay. But he was popularly known by his nickname, Ganesh. Guru Maharaj's childhood. Srila Gurudeva began to display extraordinary qualities from a very early age. Under no circumstances would he tell a lie. He would furthermore explain the moral value of truthfulness to his friends and companions. Everyone was impressed by the young lad's character. Even when very young, Srila Gurudeva showed little interest in material enjoyments. He distinguished himself from the other children by his desire to lead an orderly and disciplined life. He not only set an example in this way, but encouraged the other children to do the same. He always tried to alleviate the sufferings of others and bring them happiness, even if it meant undergoing some difficulty himself. People who observed the extent of his generosity and wisdom were convinced that he would grow up to become a man of extraordinary virtue. I personally heard from Srila Gurudeva's mother that whenever she gave him some special delicacy or sweet, he would only eat whatever was left after he had called his friends and distributed it amongst them. At school, his teachers were astonished to hear Srila Gurudeva say things that showed a level of wisdom beyond his years. The following story can serve as an example. One day, he and some of his fellow students were playing the way boys of that age do. They were engaged in various competitions of speed and strength, including a running race. Srila Gurudeva was a good runner and quickly took the lead, but tripped on a root and fell with great force, causing him to bleed profusely. When the school teachers and other guardians heard what had happened, they rushed to the scene and applied medicines to his cuts and bruises. They also said many things to calm him, but he answered, "You need not worry on my account. I will get better soon. The Lord does everything for our good. I could have injured my eyes, ears, or broken my nose, but nothing serious like that happened. I no doubt committed so many sins in previous lives that I should have suffered a more serious accident. But God is so merciful that He did not allow it to happen." When Srila Gurudeva's school teachers heard him say these things, they immediately realized that he was not an ordinary child. While in high school, Srila Gurudeva started a library for the benefit of his poorer classmates and lent books to them without cost. Throughout his youth, Srila Gurudeva was a natural teacher, a natural leader. As a result of his tall, handsome figure, his charismatic personality, and his extraordinary honesty and patience, he never had to apply or stand for election to leadership positions. Wherever he chose to participate, others would unfailingly be impressed by his qualities and acclaim him as their leader. What is more, they were satisfied with his performance afterwards. In truth, leadership is the result of an individual's depth of character, exemplary behavior, and competence. Tall and strong, Srila Gurudeva also excelled in sports and was regularly made captain of his teams. He also participated in dramatic presentations. There was no area in which he did not excel, and thus he was always involved in directing the affairs of any group in which he participated. He even played a role in the independence movement, beginnings of his spiritual calling. Srila Gurudeva was exemplary in his devotion to his mother. She would read to him and have him read various scriptures to her so that he became conversant with religious issues and imbued with faith in God. She made him read the Bhagavad Gita daily so that by the age of 11 he had memorized all of its 700 verses. Srila Gurudeva finished his primary and secondary education in Kanchanpara and Bhattagram. Then, for higher education, he went to Calcutta. While in Calcutta, he began to feel great separation from the Lord. He was staying with a relative and childhood friend named Narayan Chandra Mukhopadhyay, who later took sannyas from him and was given the name Bodhain Maharaj. Narayan Chandra recounted that he often saw Srila Gurudev calling out the names of Lord and crying in the middle of the night. He would eat only havishyan and unspiced khichuri once a day. In the state of absorption in the Lord, he one day had a dream in which Narad Muni came to reassure him. Narada gave him a mantra and told him that by chanting it, he would achieve all perfection. Upon awakening, however, try as he might, Srila Gurudeva was unable to recall the mantra in its entirety. The loss of this mantra bewildered and distressed him immeasurably. His irritation was household life, with household life reached an intolerable degree and he became determined to leave it behind. With this in mind, he went to ask the blessings of the widowed mother, who at that time was living in Gosai Durgapur in Nadia district. She made no effort to oppose his wishes. So, with an intense desire to have the company of the Supreme Lord, Srila Gurudeva set off for the Himalayas. Just as iron filings attracted by a magnetic force cannot be thwarted, the individual soul who has been attracted to the Supreme Soul allows nothing of this world, whether friends or family, to interfere with his calling. Srila Gurudeva goes to Haridwar. Srila Gurudeva's passionate desire for the Lord brought him first to Haridwar and from there into the mountains. High up in the Himalayan jungle, he fasted for 3 days from food and water, all the time calling out anxiously to the Lord. When he had practically lost all awareness of the external world, he was given a divine order to seek out a spiritual master. He was also told that his guru would appear to him in the very place that he had left. Taking the divine order as his imperative, Srila Gurudeva came down from the mountain to the holy town of Haridwar on the banks of Ganga, where he decided to stay for a few days. While there, he met a saintly person to whom he recounted all that had happened on the mountain. When he asked the sadhu for advice, he was told to return home and that he would meet a bona fide spiritual master there.